Hi guys, it's Ayu from Japanese with Ayu and
Mike.
皆さんこんにちは、あゆと
Mike です。
今日は何をしますか？
We're gonna answer people's random questions on the internet.
はい。まあ、related to Japanese.
Yeah, of course.
をマイクに質問していきたいと思います。なんだっけ？何のウェブサイトを使うんだっけ
？You were gonna use Quora, right? I think that's how you say it.
はい、それをちょっと今日はやっていきたいと思います。じゃあ、ね、この前見てていろいろ面白い質問があったからそれを話したいなと思ったんだよね。じゃあもう早速質問をしてもいいですか？
はい、いいですよ。
まあ、英語でも日本語でもどっちでもいい。
Okay.
じゃあ、Number 1 How do you say babe or sweetheart in Japanese?
Babe or sweetheart? どこにいないね。Like they don't really use pet names like that in Japanese, right?
日本人はあんまり言わない。よね。
ね。But actually, I just thought of something. I've seen in anime and stuff, sometimes a wife will call her husband like anata. Even though we're taught that anata is very rude.
Romantic way.
So it's also romantic as well as can be
でも
used.
それは結構アニメだけかも。
Really? Alright, so don't use it.
なんか確かにそれアニメでめっちゃ聞くけど、実際に言わないと思う。
Okay. Alright, that's interesting.
なんかあなたみたいな。
Okay. That's interesting. I actually didn't realize that.
私たちは、なんか、まあ、英語で呼ぶときは babe とか言うけど、日本語のときは
We have a special phrase that we've made up for each other. Because when we first started dating, I asked you, how can I call you babe or something like that in Japanese? And you told me there wasn't anything. So we ended up we started calling each other Bebe-chan. And that's kind of like our nickname we use for each other now. We made that because it's close to what we were trying to do in English, but also sounded cute in Japanese.
そうだね。babe とちゃんでね。ベベちゃんって言ってるけど、まあ普通に日本人は言わないかな。普通に名前で呼ぶ。マイクとか。
It's so unromantic.
確かに。ねマイクみたいな感じかな。あゆマイクみたいな。まああゆちゃんとか。
I suppose you have that, right?
ニックネームでも呼べるけど。
Yeah.
でもそんなロマンティックなやつはないかな、ベイブとか。
I see. Is there something you would ever call your boyfriend or husband specifically? Like, yeah, I know you can say, like, for example, if I say, Ayu-chan, right? You wouldn't call me, Mike-kun or something, would you? Like, what would you... I feel like the honorific doesn't...
普通にもう呼び捨てってわかる？
わかんない。
なんかさんとかちゃんとかないのが呼び捨てって言うんだけど、なんていうの without anything.
You mean the suffix for their name?
そうそうそう。
Like
それないのが日本語で呼び捨てって言うんだけど、呼び捨てで呼ぶかな。マイクって。
Just Mike. It's interesting because I think it goes two ways. Because I know when people meet each other for the first time, if they don't use an honorific, like if they don't use properly, like if you didn't call me Nani-Nani-san, they might take it as disrespectful.
そうそう、だからその呼び捨てで呼ぶってことはそのマイクって、くんとかさんとかなくて呼ぶってことはすごいこうクロースっていうこと。
So if you do it without knowing them, that's why it's rude.
逆にそれがいいことみたいな感じかな。次はHow do you say war? なんて
Did you say war?
これ読んで。
How do you say whoa in Japanese? Not war. I know that's insult. But no,
これ
that's
私
different.
読めんわ。英語。
Oh really?
なんていう
WOAH.
やって。
Whoa.
Whoa.
No, not R sound. Whoa.
Whoa.
Like no. Whoa.
Whoa.
Like you know when something serious is happening. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, whoa,
whoa.
合ってる Whoa. でもさ、H だからさ、Whoa じゃないの
Just whoa.
Whoa.
It's like a long sound. You're surprised.
これなんて言うの日本語で
Wow.
Wow って言わないよ
You use it with me all the time.
それはなんか面白くて言うけどさ。
Do you know what? Actually, I learned this when I was teaching junior high school. I saw a student by the window, and I went up to them to say hello, and they weren't expecting me, so they got like a big shock. But they didn't say whoa or like ah or anything. Japanese people tend to actually say the words. She just looked at me and was oh bikurishita, which doesn't translate well in English because if you do something to surprise me, I'm not going to say I'm surprised.
確かにサプライズは言わないよ。
Yeah, you don't say it, but in Japanese, no, but you don't. When you get scared, you don't say I'm scared. Like I'm not watching a horror movie. I'm like I'm scared. It's a little different, right? So I think.
Don't you say you scared me?
Yeah, I can say that like afterwards, I guess. Like you scared me. But then in Japanese, would that be びっくりされました?
まあそう違うよね。
Yeah, so it still is different.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, because you're saying it for yourself.
そうそうそう。
Right, so yeah, I found that Japanese people express themselves with actual phrases, which is very different.
そうだね。あ、じゃああんまり言わないんじゃない？ Whoa って。
Whoa.
Whoa って。
Like, I get, they have sounds.
おって言うんじゃない？おって。
お。
おって。
お。あ。
おって。おって言うんじゃない？
I think it depends on the context of how you use it. You know, like if I use whoa to see, like for example, if you make a really nice dinner and you put it on the table, I'm like whoa, like that's, you know, like as a good thing.
わーっていう。
Yeah. So okay, that's a good one. Yeah, so I go wah. It seems a bit girly, but maybe depending on gender, it might be different.
男の人だったらおーって言う。
お
ー。そうそう。
And you would say?
わー
Alright, fair enough.
あとさ、もう一個あって、これ、まあ、クオラじゃないけど、あのさ、英語でさ、あいやいやいやいやって言うじゃん。
I'm sorry, what?
言う、なんか、あいやいやいやって言うじゃん。In English。なんかちょっとさ、when you have, なんか大変なこととか、あいやいやって言うじゃん。
Let me tell you a story from my childhood. I think, I don't know, that might vary depending where people grow up and where they live. I don't know where you heard that, but when I was young, I used to really like a kids TV show called Power Rangers, and there was a character who was kind of like a robot, and whenever he was like frazzled or, you know, a bit troubled, he would spin in a circle and go, ay, 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 ay. And I feel like that's what he was telling me.
So that's how do you spell? Do you know what I'm saying?
No,
because like when you have some troublesome, yeah, like ay ay ay, って言うじゃん.
What, like ay ay ay? I don't know. I think that might be like a cultural thing depending where you live.
Do you know? How do you spell? You think?
I'm not the one who knows the word.
Guess. I wanna.
I yai. Is it y a I y a?
A y.
Yeah.
I.
No a I.
A I.
Y a.
Y A.
Y a.
Y A.
Y a. I don't know. Like this is just me absolutely guessing.
Anyone please tell us?
Yeah. Okay, so this is something we'd like anyone who's watching this video to please comment on or please tell us about, because I legitimately don't know, but it might just be my lack of experience that I just don't know what's going on here. Know. But I'd like to know where you heard it.
Australia.
I've never been to Australia. Like, who did you hear it? Did you hear it from like an Australian saying it? Are you sure it was an actual like, you know, like, g'day mate? Oh, I. Sorry, don't put that in.
I think it's not from one person. I heard multiple times. You know when you say like blah blah blah.
Blah blah blah. Yeah. That's fairly common.
Yeah.
I think.
But how do we say that in Japanese?
I have my own version. I go, ha.
Is that Japanese?
I don't know. I made it up.
Okay.
This is my thing, but I use it when speaking Japanese.
Like when you, but you know, when you say, this person was saying なんとかかんとか、なんとかかんとか。
なんとかなんとか. Yeah, that's one. なんとかなんとか. I've also heard people say like 何々何々.
何々何々。
Yeah.
でもさ、you say it when you describe someone who's like complaining, right? You can't say like, blah, blah, blah.
You can, yeah. Like, for example, you know, if like, and just my coworker was just talking to me and was like, blah, 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 in my ear. Yeah. You used to describe someone.
それでもさ、なんとかなんとか言わない。
Yeah, so, いや、彼女がもうなんとかなんとかなんとか言って。
ぐち。
Hey, that ぐち。
ぐち。なんか、ぐち？ complain?
Yeah.
そう、ぐちぐち言うみたい
Good to you.
な。
Mm,
あとさ、やだやだやだって言わない
yada yada.
やだやだ。
Yeah, yeah, yada yada yada.
What does that mean?
Same thing as like blah blah blah. You know,
やだ
just,
やだやだ。
yeah.
なんとかかんとか。
Nantoka nantoka. I think nantoka nantoka is
違
probably
う
the
違う、
thing.
なんとかかんとか。
Nantoka kantoka.
うん。
Shirankatta. I thought it was nantoka nantoka.
なんとかかんとか。
Nantoka kantoka.
うん。
Wow.
うん。
The more you know.
はい。
はい
じゃあ次。How do you say cringe in Japanese?
Cringe? You told me something about this recently, and then I watched a YouTube video where someone was talking about it, and it was actually a different translation. I asked you about it, and you said that's true. Because you had taught me that cringe is like hiku.
Mm-hmm.
Like hiku means like to pull away, right?
Because that's your action.
Yeah.
So that's how you react to
Yeah, so I guess...
whatever, it's cringe.
Yeah, so
it's
I'm
not-
cringing at
そう
something that's
だから
happening. So I would
You
say...
can say, うわ、引く。That's how I feel.
Is that the same as how, like, if I surprise someone, they say, bikurishita? They're doing the action, so they're doing it like that. But if we say, like, you know, I see something's really cringe, and
So, yeah, so it's not about them, it's how you feel. So actually, what is happening that is cringe, you can say, 痛い.
die. Is that like saying, like, it hurts to look at? Okay, I see.
Like they are doing something 痛い。この人は痛い。
I think I asked you about this before, but, like, can you use it in kind of like a slang way? Like, does it have to be die, or can I look at it and be like, hite? Like, if
それ
I
は
want to...
使えない。
使えないね。
なんかもう、痛い as in adjective.
Yeah.
So these people are 痛い人。そう、痛い。
痛い。
じゃあどんどん次行く。
はい。
How do you say okay in Japanese?
Okay.
はい。
Is it well? Because I think depending on the context, right? Like, because usually okay is like means yes, which means like hi.
いいよってこと。
いいよ。
はいじゃなくて、OK みたいな。いいよみたい
So would you say okay is a bit more like casual?
な。そう。そんなボスとかに言わないよ。
I suppose so. Yeah. Like, can you have this done? You wouldn't say.
なんか、
Okay.
even if you put this at the end, ちょっと too casual. OK です。
Okay, this.
OK ですって。でも結構
remember that.
使うよね、普通に日本人。OK っ
Yeah.
て。
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. You know, I teach at high school, and the kids just constantly use
Okay.
the words that they don't realize is English, but they use it all the time.
Maybe they use it because you're English teacher.
No, they don't. No, no, not at all.
じゃあ、How do you say I love you in Japanese?
Oh, there's so many ways, but they're all different, right? 好きです, 大好きです.
でも I love you だから。
So it depends how, because it's different in Japanese, right? So like 好きです is kind of like I like you, right? 大好きです is like I love you.
そうだね。
And then the really romantic way that people don't often say 愛してる, right? Which literally like I is love and する to do. So
愛してるよ。
愛してるよ is, but that's some serious business.
そうだね。
Like you won't often hear Japanese people say that to each other.
でも逆に、友達とかにそういう女の子の友達とかに、愛してるよとかその LINE とか、メッセージで
Is it almost used a bit sarcastic, or is it?
普通に Love you みたいな。女の子だから言える。
I just want to point out it's very strange that gay marriage is not allowed here, considering how gay sometimes people act. And I mean that in a very good way. But like girls, like, you know, walk around, like high school girls and older will walk around like and hold hands and be very close. And as you're saying now, they'll say stuff like "I studio" to each other, and it's, you know, it's because they care about each other. You know, there's a lot of stuff like that that's just fairly common.
Maybe it's more common to say that to girls than romantic way to boyfriend.
Yeah, it seems like it. You know, and boys, I think as well, are also very handsy and touchy here. I have students from junior high upwards, even high school. They sit on each other's laps, and they just like there's no boundaries between them. It's very strange for me to see. But yeah, I've gotten used to it, I guess.
ラブとか言う。
Rabu.
なんかラブっていう。
Just rabu.
ラブ。I love you みたいな。ラブ。
Okay.
そう。
Yeah.
Okay, じゃあ How do you say maybe in Japanese?
So maybe I would think is usually tabun, right? But I have this image in my head where maybe, for me, when I say maybe in English, it's like 50-50. It doesn't mean yes, doesn't mean no. But I feel like tabun is, if I had to translate it to more to how I feel it means, it's more like probably.
Oh.
Is that right, or is that...
That's always, probably, is it higher?
Yeah, it's a higher chance. If I say probably, like, hey, are you coming to the party tonight? Probably, I'd say it's like 75% chance.
難しいな.
That's why it's always like, sometimes I don't like using tabun because I feel like maybe it's... I really don't know. I really don't want to give an
それは
answer.
it depends on the situation.
So how else could you answer, right?
だって多分って言ったらさ、Are you coming tonight? 多分ってさ、多分行かないよ。
Really? Oh, it's because you're not saying yes.
Because we don't want to say, no, we don't want to say no.
Yeah.
That's why. 多分.
That's Japanese people being really polite. But I guess we have similar things in English where, like, you know, it's like, hey, Dad, can we have some ice cream? And you say, like, we'll see.
Oh.
Doesn't mean yes, doesn't mean no. But it's basically just being like, that always means no.
それいいじゃん. How do you say we'll see in Japanese?
We'll see.
難しくない?
わからん. We'll see.
なんかさ、だから I'll see とか we'll see ってさ。
Yeah, because it means like you're thinking about it. ちょっと考える?
Because we don't really have the literal なんか見るとかさ。
Yeah, it's different. It's different, right? Yeah.
そういうじゃない。
Yeah.
いやちょっと考えるかな。でも、so if you translate that to English, I'll consider it. でしょ？考えるって。
Yeah, I'm considering it. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
We'll see って難しいね。まあちょっと考えるって感じ。ちょっと考えよう。
ちょっと考える。
とか。
Yeah, I suppose like if that's the same situation I said before, if you're in the car with your parents and you're like, can we stop at the convenience and get some ice cream? And they're like, 考える.
ちょっと変じゃん。
Yeah, I guess you would, could you say, like, what would you say? Like, if you ask your dad, you're like, oh, daddy, please, could we stop by the convenience?
So, what does that, like, think? What does he want to say?
He's basically...
He doesn't want it?
Yeah, he doesn't want to, but he doesn't want to say no to the kids.
多分、後でね、とか言うんじゃない
just so they forget about it, like, oh, later. We use that in English as well, like, yeah, we'll do it later. You just put something off until it just never happens. Yeah, thanks, Dad.
We'll see って難しいかもね。
Yeah.
日本語で。でも、例えば、I think it's also depending on the context. なんか、例えば、we'll see our situation みたいな時。そういう時は、なんか、様子を見るっていう言葉を使う。様子。
様子ってなんだっけ？
様子って、そのコンディションとかシチュエーションとか、So we'll see how it happens, how it goes. でそれが these all things considered as 様子、like situation, condition. So we can say 様子を見よう。Let's see, we'll see. っていう感じもできる。
There's a really funny question here that's it's cute.
How do you say panda in Japanese?
You said
sorry.
You just said it in Japanese.
How do you say panda in Japanese?
Panda.
てかさ、動物なんか例えばライオンとか。
Yeah.
ライオン。
But you actually have a Japanese word for lion, don't you?
No.
Yes.
何?
Yes, because I was talking to my student the other day. I asked what kanji was in his name, and he said the kanji for lion.
What?
Maybe it's like a Japanese line. It might be a different. I can't remember what it was, but he wrote it down for me. He showed me. There's a kanji for lion.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think it might not be the same as like an African lion.
Like Leo.
What do you call it? Is it those lions where you see at the shrines and stuff? Lion. Shishi?
獅子ね。
Like this kind of lion.
ああ、それってさ、ドッグじゃない？
Lion.
No, 獅子 isn't lion.
Well, it's saying this one here is different. It says this, if it's these two kanji at the bottom, it says the left-hand guardian dog at a Shinto shrine. But other than that, it's actually lion as in Nile.
Yeah, but no one says shishi for lion.
Absolutely. I think it's absolutely like more common to say Nile. Absolutely. But like, for example...
獅子ってさ、あれだよ。
Well, Japanese like style lion.
って書いてるね。
Yeah.
でも I didn't think about it.
I think it's because like my student's Japanese, so that might just be his image of lion. Oh, wait, does panda have kanji?
あるんじゃない?
It's got to because it's from China, right? So if I just type in panda, just out of interest, you know, even though everyone says panda. Here we go, obscure term, but you have kumaneko. Kumaneko! Okay, take this with a grain of salt. This
Bear
is my
cat.
Japanese dictionary. Yeah, saying bear cat.
Yeah, わかんない。
That's
I've
probably
never seen
it's even says here in brackets obscure, so it's not commonly used. But I would love for someone to tell me like, you know, kumaneko ga suki desu. Like if I tell that to any of my students, they'll look at me like I'm crazy. But I love it.
まあでもさ、動物は結構なんか英語、言葉が多いよね。
Yeah.
だってコアラもコアラ。カンガルーもカンガルー。
Yeah, but that's also because they're foreign animals, right?
そうそう。
That's usually how they do it.
ビーバーもビーバー。
Yeah.
じゃあ、Okay, how do you say ugly in Japanese?
ブス。
ブスな。ブス。ブス。
What am I saying wrong?
ブス。
ブス。
ブスってスターベン。ブス。ブス。
So can I say something like ブスブス人ブス。
ブスをブスって。でももう一個あるよ。ブサイクもある。
Yeah, busaiku. Is busaiku like the full word? Is busu short for it?
いや、違うと思う。
It's different? I thought it's just shortened down. So busaiku is just ugly, right? Okay.
同じ。ブスもブサイクも。
Busu. Busaiku. But they both mean ugly.
そう。
Is one uglier than the other?
なんかブサイクの方が可愛い感じがする。
Huh?
なんとなく。なんかわかる。あ、ブサカワってわかる？
Yeah, busakawa.
ブサイクの方が、
ugly,
ブサイク可愛い感じする。
Can you give me an example of someone or something that's busakawa?
ブサカワ？
Or
ブルドッグとか？
I guess so. Yeah.
How do you say I'm going to you up?
How would you say? I don't know. Like I would go. I can't go as literal as that, but you know, I would say like buji korosu or something.
ぶち殺す？
Which is like I'm going to murder you, basically.
その日本ってなんていう F ワードがないから、the way you say
Yes.
or the word you choose
Yeah.
can be really bad.
Yeah. So it's really about tone, about volume, about facial expression when you want to relay something to people. So, for example, I started teaching at a high school this year, and I noticed a lot of the students were saying "shine" to each other. It means go die, right? And I was like, why are you guys so awful to each other? And I was like, actually kind of shocked at this. And I had asked Ayu's younger brother, like, what do you think of this kind of behavior? And he said, it's normal slang these days that the younger generation uses towards their friends, you know? It's just like they say something, you're like, shine, shine. And it's completely normal. And I found that through all my classes. So many of the students all say it. It's just completely common now. But because they're saying it in a friendly way, they're smiling, it's with their friends, they don't take it as offensive. Even though that's probably one of the worst things you could say in Japanese if we're only talking about the words themselves.
そうだよね。なんかクソとかもさ、F ワードじゃないけど。
It's not in anime and stuff. Kuso is often translated to like oh shit. Because it literally means shit, right? And in English we do say when something bad happens, shit.
本当にあんまり悪い言葉がなくて、but you can say horrible things.
Yeah.
Depending on what you say.
Anyways, we were talking about before about how even words like so, even though it depends on context, but these days people use it to modify their adjectives to make it sound stronger. Like they say, so they're so omoshiroi. Like
まあ、めっちゃとか。
Yeah, めっちゃとてもすごい。
最近みんな超って使わないかな。
I don't say that. I use 超 all the time.
Yeah, same. But, you know, our generation.
Yeah, but if I say that to my young high school students, they think I'm super old.
So they understand. But I don't really hear from younger generation people to say 超面白い。I think they say
ガチ。
ガチ。
ガチ。That just makes
ガチでとか。
Yeah.
ガチは same as like マジ。very とてもみたいな。超めっちゃは言うと思うけど。
Yeah, めっちゃみんな使うけど。
Yeah, because my brother also says クソ面白いとか。
Yeah.
言うよね。
Yeah, it's
ガチで。
interesting because for me, as you get older, obviously when you look at some younger people and the slang and stuff they use, I kind of look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's clearly young people slang, so I'm not going to use it. But in Japanese, it's a bit harder to tell that. But I can at least tell that it's like, you know, if I say, gachi de omoshiroi, because I only hear teenagers use it. Only. It's like exclusively teenagers using it. So for that reason, I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna use it.
And that's how you can show your age.
Yeah, like, I remember one day, like a student, what was it? I said, we're not going to do a test today. And the student looks up and he's like, gachi de. And I said back to him, gachi de. And everyone was surprised that I said, I responded with the same word he used. Because it's not something, you know, anyone who's a little bit older would use.
Or maybe foreigner to use.
Or maybe that's it as well. I think them hearing me speak Japanese is a whole thing in itself.
次は How do you say what the hell in Japanese?
何これ?
それ違う。
違う?
だってさ、何これって What's this? よ。
What the hell? 地獄なんだ?
めっちゃ literal.
What is it? We were watching.
I don't know. Let's see how other people.
There was we were watching TV the other day, and there was a live music playing, and there was this artist. I can't remember who the artist was, but they were singing, and they decided to mix English and Japanese in the strangest way. And he was singing. He said, "Should I nani o?" And it was so funny.
そうだね。Should I 何を
Should I nani o?
Should I do what? What should I do?
What should I? Yeah, I think they were trying to say, "What should I do?" The fact that he mixed it in that way, "Should I nani o?" Just
面白かった。
yeah, it was great.
So someone said this to this answer. なんでやねん。
Yeah, but that's
関西、
Osaka, right?
大阪弁ね。
Yeah.
What
And
the
it's
hell?
yeah, but what the hell? I think because nandeyanen is like,
Why?
well, no, I was gonna say it's used more often in a humorous
so
or
だね、
good situation. You know, like if my student do something like a little bit crazy, I look at them and be like nandeyanen, you know, but. What the hell? Like, for example, if I walk in and I see the dogs taking a poo on the carpet or something, I'd be like, what the hell? You know, you can say it in a negative way.
確かに。なんて言うんだろう。
Yeah, so I think nandeyanen can be used, but I think it
そっ
depends.
か。確かに。
So what do you think?
なんやろ
Are you sensei? 地獄なんだ?
何これ
That's what I said!
そう言わない。
Nailed it.
Not, I was thinking what my mom would say.
What your mom would say.
何
ねえちょっと
てかさ、ねえってさ、言うよね。What does that even mean? A lot of people say like, ねえみたいな。
This is just like
Hey!
It's complaining sounds.
Hey! って感じ。
Hey.
ねえ。
ねえ
When you fart, ねえ。
It's the other way around, by the way. I'm the one saying ne.
How do you say whatever?
In a bad way, I would say like どうでもいい.
そうだね。どうでもいいとか、何でもいいとか。かな。
Yeah. Like if you, but it's also like it's negative, right? Like if you ask me, like, you know, hey babe, what do you want to eat for dinner? If I say like
でも
"dodemoi" is kind of like I don't care,
そうだね。
whatever, really like. But if I say, and also like the way you speak, this is super important for speaking Japanese. The way you say it and the face you use and the expression, you know, because if I say 何でもいい.
何でもいい is better.
Yes, but
I don't mind anything.
yeah, so but it depends, right? Because if I'm in a bad mood and you ask me, like, 何でもいい. But then, because it's also the way I'm saying it, but then if you ask me and I say, 何でもいい, it sounds more polite. Like I'm saying anything's
I
okay.
think you said the same way.
Huh? Did
何
I?
でもいい like whatever.
No, I tried to do higher pitch for
何
a
でもいい
second.
よ。
Your helps?
Yeah.
Okay.
何でもいいよ。
何でもいいよ.
I'm okay with anything.
But if I say like 何でもいい.
じゃあさ、if I say 死ねって言ったらいいの。
はい、死にます.
No, I think this word is bad.
Just don't,
No matter.
be careful when you use it.
So this is not related to Japanese language, but can I say one thing? So how do Japanese students feel about cleaning toilets and own classrooms? Because I've heard there's in other countries they don't have a cleaning time.
Yeah, there's no, because janitors take care of it generally.
Yeah,
right?
but in Japan we all have our own cleaning time. So we clean toilets, classrooms, everywhere.
It's a good system. Like a lot of foreigners who come here think it's a little bit strange, but thinking about the fact that from a young age, from elementary school, if you actually give students every day, by the way,
So
I think Wednesdays was the school I teach. They had a break, but it depends on the school.
大体何分ぐらい?
It depends. Usually 10 to 15 minutes. It's not long, but it's a good habit to get kids to, realize that they should help clean up and they should have certain roles.
Because we all have our a place to clean. Like we have their own,
Yeah, everyone gets assigned a place.
So you need to do this. Make sure you gotta have something to do.
Yeah, and it's nice. Like the kids,
I think that's why Japan is clean. Because everyone says coming here to Japan and how clean it is. Everyone gets surprised.
It is clean. It is a very clean country.
I think it's our habit.
Yeah, the Japanese people are taught some good things growing up in school. Like, for example, to be clean and to clean up after yourself. And, we have that cleaning time. But then also, a big thing that a lot of foreigners, they come here and they realize is that garbage cans are very rare in Japan. There's not many. You'd be lucky to find one out in the open anywhere. Most people, if they want to throw away something, they'll throw it at a konbini or something.
Or you need to just take it home.
You take it home, yeah. A lot of people do that as well. Which
Do you know this saying? 来た時よりも美しく.
No, 聞いたことない.
We say it all the time. So 来た時よりも美しく means that you need to make it clean or make it beautiful, even more beautiful than before when you came. 来た時よりも美しく.
No. In New Zealand we say be a tidy Kiwi.
かわいい。何それ?
Just be clean, mate.
じゃあ最後にするか.
What?
I didn't say motherfucker.
Mother. Are we gonna get demonetized for this video?
P.
Yeah. How do you say? Okay. You don't. Because the idea. So if you think about the literal meaning of the sentence, someone who's a mother who took the time to, have sensual time with someone else's mother, is it's a bad thing, right? But I don't think that kind of image exists here.
No, I never heard of it. I never thought about it until I hear that phrase in English.
Yeah.
Because we don't have that phrase.
I don't know.
We don't really say anything about your mother.
Is being a mother a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know.
It's
We
very...
don't say that. We're very polite.
Not always. Everyone just says shinet to each other.
Yeah, but we don't insult their mothers.
In a dictionary to see if anything would come up, and there's one result. It says, konchikusho.
全然違うよね。
I've never heard this before.
畜生は
Chikusho is like damn it, right? Yeah, I've heard that in anime all the time. Like
まあ、この
chikusho.
畜生ってさ、このってさ、まあ、from this これ、この畜生、言わんけどな。I don't think I've ever said that. いやだからもう言わない。
No, but yeah, there's no literal translation for it. But, we have other things we can, say to express that anger. And again, it's how you say it. It's the way
この
you
野
say
郎、バカ野郎。
it. Yeah, so yaro is basically how you make a phrase more rude so that people, the anger comes across. As you say, baka yaro, kono yaro.
クソ野郎とか。
Kusa yaro.
そう。
If you want to be really high level, you roll your R's. Kusa yaro.
私できないんだよ。
なんで?
ロロロってできないから。いや、ロロロロ。それできない。
なんで?
わかんない。
You can't be Yankee in Japan
で、
then.
ヤンキーになれないし、
Yeah.
なんかスパニッシュとか難しい。
Mm.
じゃあ本当に最後の最後。How do you say have a great day?
Have a great day? I'm not actually sure.
まあなんかいい日にしてねとか。
Can you say that?
言わんけどな。
Yeah, I was about to say, I could translate literally, but I don't know. Because you could say, what is it? 良い週末を。How do you like for have a nice weekend?
そうそう。だから、良い something をって。
Yeah.
いい週末をとか、
Yeah.
まあいいでも良い、どっちでもいい。良い、ほら、良いお年を。
良いお年を。Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
But before New Year's, this is actually a difference here in Japan.
Some people say it after, like on the 1st of January.
No, but
you can't say
change it. So for
明け
those
ま
of
してお
you,
めでとう。
yeah, so 良いお年を is like have a good New Year.
そう。
And then afterwards, it's 明けましておめでとう, which is Happy New Year's. Sometimes Japanese people shorten it down. They say 明けおめ.
そうそれがまあスラングね。
It's slang, but I think, you know, as Japanese learners, we like to learn stuff
明け
like
おめ
that.
ことよろっていう。
Yes.
今年もよろしくをことよろっていう。
Yeah. 明けおめことやろう。
ことよろ。
ことよろ。I used to do that to my students. It was so funny hearing it from me.
まあだからさ、何でもいい。例えば、良いクリスマスをとか。
Yeah.
だから、いい一日。
Well, why would you use 良い instead of いい？
なんでだろうね。まあいいでもいいよ。いいけど、まあ I think it's like a phrase. So, まあ we just say 良いなんとかを。
I've always wondered, like I think I've kind of learned when you use one another, well, not the other, based on just context. Like for example, when we were saying like 良い Christmas or 良い年を, 良い just feels better. But for example, when I was at school and a student wanted to enter the room, they would always end the sentence with 入ってもいいですか or 入っても良いですか But it depended on the student. They would use both.
でも多分良いは more formal.That's why some students say 良いですか
The good students, basically. Okay, fair enough.
そう、良いです。
Okay.
はい。っていう感じでした。よし。じゃあ、この辺で今日は終わりましょう。今年もありがとうございました。Japanese with あゆ。皆さん、見てくれてありがとう。なんか言うことない？
Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff.
そう。
Yeah, make sure to follow other social media, Instagram, TikTok, everything. Check it out. She's working hard this year. I'm very proud of her.
これからさ、2人でたくさんビデオとかね、撮りたいなって。
Yeah.
2024年、頑張りたいと思います。
頑張りましょう。
はい。じゃあ今日も最後まで見てくれてありがとうございます。Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.